Moved into this place in 2021. We were tired of living in the suburbs, and after COVID and everything else that was going on in the world, we decided we wanted to live out in the country. So we moved out here. Let me see if I can get the camera to switch so you can see the house anyway. There we go. So there's the house, and of course it wants to find me because I've got tracking on. Let me turn tracking off. um, all right, here, let me put it back on me and come this way. All right, so you put tracking back on. You can see the house there. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. You can see the house behind us. So we moved out here on 10 acres. Unfortunately, what we kind of realized and kind of did, and the property line was pretty much right here in line with this telephone pole. And you can see that's right at the edge of the house. We had 10 acres, but we didn't have a lot of space next to us, so we ended up buying this land here next to us, another 3 acres, so we have a total of 13 now, which is about where we want to be. I really wasn't necessarily looking for that much property, to be honest with you, but we were able to get it for a decent deal. It felt like more than we should be paying, to be honest, but you know how that is. Now I think the land value's actually caught up where it's probably worth quite a bit more than we actually paid for it. Let me walk down here and see if I can turn off tracking and turn the camera. So you can see we've got a little trail here that goes off into the woods. The one thing I would like to be able to do would be come up and put a little bridge here. This water gets pretty high when it rains. It's not really a creek, it's more just a runoff, but I would like to have it so I could get the mower over there and the tractors and kind of start cleaning that little open area up a little bit and get it where I can mow over there, make it a lot nicer. But you can see here we've got, and of course we had some wind this past weekend, so there's a lot of stuff blown from all over the yard and neighbors' yards and everywhere else. It blew one of my burn barrels over here. We've been working on getting this tree out. It fell last year during the spring, and then it got hot, so we've just been cutting out piece and piece and getting it moved. But of course we're not very far with it yet. We still got a little bit to go, but my goal is to get where that big tree right there kind of becomes part of the yard. But what I would need to do is get it cleared out so I can kind of start mowing around it and reclaiming that a little bit. And let's just go look around a little bit. Got a few trees, a pecan tree we planted there. There's another one right up here. Like I say, you can see the telephone pole there. That's the one that I was talking about that was the edge of the property when we first moved in. I'm gonna walk down here so you can see a little bit and see the where the property line is right now. Actually just goes a little bit past this sign up here, the slow children sign. And there's the orange flag that designates where the property line is now. So I believe if I remember right, the total road frontage of our property now is about 450 feet. We almost doubled it by buying the extra land we did. Most of our 10 acres was behind the house previously. And I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is an orange flag up here. There's 2 of them right off in there. There's one up high, one down on the ground. That is our property line for this side. And there was this was a cattle fence at one point, a cattle pasture, so there's fencing here. I pulled out most of the posts. I'm gonna come back and cut these trees off to about post height and just put up barbed wire just to make the fence. And you can see, if you look down the way there, I've been working on trying to get fencing in throughout the property. We're gonna block off the entire front of the property, put fence up and put gates. Not really having too much of a problem with crime yet, but I want to get it, you know, something up before we start having a problem. I would rather do it now instead of waiting. Of course, there's our axe throwing board we made. Set out in the winter weather, and the paint target has came off. All right, and I did quite a few videos of the barbecue shack last year when we were building this. I've done a little more work on it. Right here in the front, there's going to be another wall that will have gas struts on it, so it'll lift out, and eventually there'll be a bar right here. And I'm probably going to put a deck down here so we can have a setting area, you know, so pull up to the bar and eat. Got my Blackstone in there. There is a stick burner smoker, of course the Weber, and there's a rustic cooler I made, of course the trash can. But I'm really excited to get this going. We had a TV in here last summer, but I took it down in the winter just to, not have it sitting out here in the winter the whole time. Of course, we're cutting up some of the wood that falls around the property here, just so we've got something to throw over here. We've got a propane fire pit over there, but then we've also got the real fire pit here just to throw some wood in and have a nice evening sitting out here with the fire going. And here's, of course, the back of our property. This is about 9 acres fenced in, 9.5. I think I call it 9 for tax purposes, that we actually get the hay cut. Currently don't have a way to do it myself, but I would like to get set up for that at some point. And of course, I noticed the other day we had a big wind last weekend, and as I already mentioned, and I've got trees that have fallen on the fence there I need to come get up. And I swear, every time I get them cleaned up, we've got a couple of burn piles over here, and I'm constantly getting the trees up. And every time I get them up and we get something burned, another breeze comes through or another strong storm and end up wiping out the couple of trees right at the edge of the fence, and I have to get those taken care of. All right, Mr. Skibby, you retracted your message, but Sawyer Johnson, hi, I'm doing well. It is a beautiful day in Texas. I'm not sure about the rest of the country. I know there's been some struggles with weather in a lot of the country, but we have just had a beautiful few days here in Texas. All right, let's walk over here and say hi to the dogs real quick. So we have 2 dogs, German Shepherd named Riley, and a Dalmatian named Chip. They're in a few videos of ours. Chip almost got eat a couple of weeks ago. He went out in the field. He wasn't supposed to be out there, and he took off and ran out there. And early morning, full of fog, still a little bit dark, and got chased back by a couple of coyotes. But luckily, he's fast as everything, so he was able to outrun them. Here's the burn pile, one of them that I was talking about. It's funny, it was huge, middle of the winter, and it's just kind of sunk down. Got another one over here, just a little ways down from the raised beds. We got some dirt and compost and got these filled up this past week, ready to go and get some stuff growing. And this is our greenhouse we built, mostly out of old windows, French doors. Of course, the roof itself is clear plastic sheets. Wife came out here. She's already got some squash going there. Looks awesome. I can't believe it just came up, or just came in the ground a little bit ago. She's already got some stuff growing. Got a lot of stuff planted over here. Really excited to get the garden going again. She loves to garden. Oh no, it says at 8:05 my live stream came to a halt. That's not good. I wonder. So, is anybody else seeing it, or is it still going for anybody? Thank you for that, Mr. Peterson. I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm not sure what to do about it, to be honest. A little more garden area. Of course, I came out here and was working the other day, taking everything and pulling it away from the building there, and trying to get everything cleaned up. So I've got a lot of things sitting out in the yard that would be up against the building here. I really want to build a lean-to, so I've got a cover for the trailer, cover for all of the implements and everything to have it up there, but I just haven't got around to it. And I can't argue with you, Mr. Peterson. I have no idea if it's working or not. It looks like it's working on my side, but I obviously can't tell anything about it, you know, from your end there. My old Nissan truck. Sometimes it's nice to have a vehicle that old, and sometimes, you know, definitely could use something a little newer. And the old Jeep Grand Cherokee's got a few problems. The battery's dead. I need to get that going. And then, of course, I'm going to have to fix a heating, cooling problem. I guess it'd be a cooling problem in there. And there's our Tesla, which really sounds like it wouldn't fit in on the Homestead very well, but it actually does great out here, to be honest. All right, I have no idea at this point if I'm still live streaming or not. I was told at 8:05 it dropped off. All right, so it shows I've got 3 people watching. I guess, can anybody still see it, or is it completely gone? I guess I will have to take your word for it that it died. So I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a day. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, feel free to go to my main YouTube channel. Got quite a few videos on everything we've done, from the greenhouse, putting up fencing, the barbecue shack. Some talking about the property itself. So, you know, I'd love for you guys to check it out. Just, you know, send me any questions you have or comment on any video and let me know if you got questions. But I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great day.